Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here with this season's 911 Carrera. This is a Tier 4 car that will be used as the PC Cup car, and right now will be used for supply cups. The good news about this car is that it actually is not a difficult car to beat dyno with, but it pretty much is all reliant on shift patterns. Now here I have the car kind of partially built with no fusions added. I just want to show you that supply cups will not take much effort to do with this setup. So here I'm on the last few races of the supply cup. We're going to run them. Then we'll go back and talk about how the tuning works with regard to the way the shift pattern needs to be done. Now in order to get the best runs out of this car and to get under dyno, one of the key here is that as soon as you launch, you want to get into second. Then you're going to short shift to third, and then fourth you can start to let it run more to the end. Nitrous in fifth or sixth. I mean, there are different ways to do this, but generally speaking, to beat dyno, the key here is that those first two gears have to be almost skipped, because this car spins its tires so much in the beginning that you want to get into the higher gears as quickly as possible, particularly fourth. So here you're going to launch and then get into fourth. Once you get into fourth, you can kind of let it run through, and then from there you're just riding the nitrous for the rest of the way. Now 10.986 isn't the best run. I could actually get a little better than that. Alright, here we go again. So here I use nitrous in fifth with a slight pause. Remember, without the fusions, it's going to be a little different than with full fusions. So at this point, you're going to be still a little harder to get good runs out of the car. But generally speaking, this is already beating dyno by about 0.15. You can definitely beat dyno by almost 0.2 just with the shift pattern. We're talking about beating the dyno without any fusions yet. That's the benefit of this setup, is that you can go ahead and get the supply cup done and gather your fusions if this is the only Porsche you have. Obviously, most of us should have the 718 Boxster, which would be just as good for supply cups. But in case you don't, this would be the car of choice, and you can obviously do this with or without any fusions. So you're doing it this way without fusions just makes it easier for you to at least get through supply cups, get your parts, and get it installed and go from there. Now that one I didn't do so well, so again, if you delay the shift to second and let it run into the higher RPMs, you're actually going to do worse than if you just shift into second right away. So here, let's take a look at the car again. One of the things here is that I'm not even all stage 5, and I'm certainly not using any fusions. The point is that you don't need any of that to make it through supply cup. Obviously you can do supply cup even stock, but this seems to be a pretty easy way to get through. You can actually run nitrous like this, which will work just as well. 3.0 is fine as well. The key here is that with this car, what happened is you want it to top out at the highest gear whenever possible. Now obviously at this point it has so little power that it won't hit the top gear, but it'll do around 160, and that'll be over here in this gear. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're really going to be running into 7th gear. The dyno also tells us that it's 11.145 and 143, not actually 159, which means that it doesn't even really get to 7th gear. It'll be top of 6. The thing is that reality is you do hit 7th gear even in the quarter mile. So again, we'll do another test run to kind of confirm that situation. Alright, so with this car, the key is the quick shift to the second gear. If you don't do it quick enough, you won't get a better time. Again, dyno beating really relies on that. So once you launch, you want to hit that second gear almost immediately. And that will give you your best chance. Nitrous in 5th, and that's it. This is similar to the shift pattern, when you have the car fully maxed, you'll be using a very similar pattern to this. It has the same exact effect. That means this car basically has a pretty consistent shift pattern from the time that it has no fusions and starts all the way until the time it has full fusions and ends. So in between this, I would say this shift pattern will probably still be used with almost any level of upgrade. Notice that it has a very slow 0 to 60. Even fully maxed, it means it will struggle to try to hit the Tempest 3 Tier 4 sprint trap times, but I haven't fully tested it. I do know that it can hit the mile per hour very easily, even at stage 5 only. So as I get to the end of the season and I have this car hopefully maxed, then I will test the sprint possibilities for Tempest 3 Tier 4. So again, 3.0, 5.0, 55, 45. You can do 54, 53. I mean, there's around here it's all the same when you have no fusions. If you have fusions, that would change the setting for the tires and the final drive both. The car will act differently. So there's your easy setup for Tempest, not for Tempest, I'm sorry, for supply cups. Obviously, this will not work for when you do the PC Cup, and I want to remind you that you do need to upgrade the car and put fusions in if you want to finish the PC Cup. This is just to kind of get you through supply cups without you having to worry about using the 718 or one of the other Porsches. This allows you to kind of concentrate your focus on using your Porsche Fusions for this car just to get you through PC and not wasting it on all variety of Porsches trying to get through just the supply cup. Overall, Porsches are tough to build, so I don't see it as one of the priority builds, but given you can get it to be dyno, it is a possibility to use for live racing. Although I would think there are many more tier 5s that would be better options, but if you're out of options otherwise, this is a car you can tune to certain lobbies. Utilizing the shift pattern to beat dyno, you can still be successful with this car in live. So that is your shift pattern and basic settings for a easier supply cup with the 911 Carrera 4S. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me on the channel. And if you like the video, please leave a like. If you like my channel, please subscribe so you can get notifications when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos and have a good one. I'll catch you next time.